Hey, Eric Larson here. Before we get into our video, just want to say I watched a lot of YouTube trying to figure out how to do a lot of things, went to a lot of different tile operations or sticking my nose into what they were doing and trying to learn to do it ourselves. So here's what we put together. We're not professionals, but we're doing our best and we're getting better all the time. You can see where we're located here. The field is called Martha's South. It's by Cottonwood Lake. We're down in southeastern North Dakota. So you can see it's kind of a rolly, hilly terrain, especially off the design here that GK Technology did for us. They put all this together using LiDAR, and then of course it incorporates with the SD drain controller that we got on our plow, which we purchased at Russ Sales. And the next slide coming up here is where I used Google Earth and put the map on as a layer so I could kind of figure out all of our headings so we could punch those into the auto steer on the tractor as we were doing our tiling. So when we got going on the project, we got this much done basically. The northwest corner still needs to have laterals put in, but we got everything else taken care of. So hey, have a look at what we did. Feel free to comment. Well, we got it in and got it to grade. There's the end of the pipe there. Had to build a little bit of a dam for the lake, but yeah, got her all in there. And if you turn, I'm just filling it in now with we had the heavy crushed gravel right on top of the pipe. We got it seated inside of that. You can just see the tip of the pipe right there. Here's where I'm setting grade. So if you look up here, you can see I got the laser is just about where it needs to be. I drop it down. I got the stick about vertical. You watch that thing light up, turn green when I'm right on the money. So there it's green. I back up, just keep it on the green. Down below there. Kind of hard with the windshield. Now I came up a little bit. Anyway, make sure it's all on the green. See that right through there. That's where I dropped the thumb down. Drag that thumb through there. That thumb's got a oval deal on it. Once I got it to grade, then I put that thumb down there, and then we'll draw in a little bit of an oval for the pipe to set in. Side, a little more. There you go, give her a sprinkle. So we got to connect to this 15-inch, it's a 15-inch pipe there that goes under the road and into the lake. The other end is mostly plugged with sand, so we put a tire tube in there and inflated it just to kind of close the hole. Then we put this pump out in that we use with our irrigators, and we got a motor going. And it's pushing the water right into the culvert there. And that's going back over into the lake. So we're hoping that if we keep this pump going, keep the pump going, then we'll be able to take this out and make our connections. We got to put a T on there and all kinds of stuff, so we don't want to be working in the water. Well, pumping like crazy. Got the goose set in here pretty good. Now we just got to make connections to all this stuff. Hopefully we can stay ahead with the pump. Bringing the puller tractor back in. You can see I did my first cut just to loosen the ground up. I got up this far and then I killed it. So we're gonna get her. We got pretty good action going here. Looks like we got good slope there. Monkeys in the back helping out. Guys are working their butts off. That's hard workers. Now we're trenching up to this cattail slough that's been mitigated. That's as far as I could get, even with the tractor pulling me. So we're just going to stop, save our cap that we got on there, and then I'm going to dig out the bottom of this. Bottom of the plow, we're going to cut it off, and then we're just going to put a connector on, come up a little ways, put a surface inlet in, and then I'm going to trench into that slough and just let the water drain off as much as we can. That'll get it out of there to hopefully tile in a little bit at a time. Pulling through a slough. Water standing all over the place. Keep the things wiggling. Still showing a good line. Nice to make that water disappear. Got to keep wiggling the steering wheel back and forth, and then we can kind of keep a little motion. Looks like we're going to get through. Give an idea what it looks like down the hole. There's the tractor that we're using. There's the plow. GPS guidance on the up and down part. And there's well, if you want to look up there, is that wheel that's turning, and they feed the tile through there, comes on down, right on out this boot in the back, and that's going to go down into there where you can see that little fitting is put into the main. So that's how that all works. Sure, just got all that hooked in. So he'll kneel on it until we take off, and then it'll be connected. Okay, well, we're backing into a tile spot where there's a hole dug, and one of the guys is in there. It's Jared. Nico's talking to Jared. Jared's down in the hole. And that hole is dug right up against a main 8-inch line, and it's a 4-inch line that Nico's hooking up to it right now. They're going to direct me how far back to come. So that's good. So then I start lowering this down until I kind of can tell when it hits the bottom of the pit. There, it hit. So now I tilt it back until it shows me I'm going a little too far. That little thing that turns from blue to green. Okay, that's close enough. They just fed the line in. So I want to take and just pull her ahead a little bit. Make sure you got plenty of room to make their connection. Yep. Okay, Nico's got that checked out. So I hit start install. Engage my 2 hydraulics. That's this one here. He's an auto, and so is this one. And as I pull ahead now, the hydraulics will take over as it's pulling away from the hole. See, the line is going from the stringer trailer. That'll just kind of keep laying on the ground as we go along here, and I just keep picking it up. Nico, he's going to string that out ahead of me. You can see here, these 2 hydraulics, one is for the up and down, one's for the tilt. They keep everything just right, keep the grade that I want on this thing. So that's all working good. Once we get in on our line, I already surveyed, that's the track that we're following. I can go ahead and hit the auto steer. That takes over the driving. And I'll take and speed up now. That 3.6, 3.8. That's kind of where it's set if I was going full throttle. My actual speed is at 3.1. So I've been going about 2.5 to 3.1 or so. Depends on how it's pulling. You can tell right here the, I'll get it on this camera. We're not using a ton of power, so that's okay. So I switch that back and I can go over to this page. See that I'm right on the line that I set with the John Deere. You can see here, the tile line is in the middle of that green, which is where we want to be, anywhere in that green. depth. That's about 3 feet down from the surface. It's got a minimum grade of 0.1. As you see here, we're considerably more than that, but then when we get on this high spot, that'll be like a 0.1 grade, which will keep the water flowing nicely. The water all flows downhill, gets into that main, goes downhill, gets into the main, it goes way down here, bottom of that, about down by the road ditch, and then I got a pipe that goes underneath the road, 15-incher, and that goes into the lake. So all this water is going to end up going over and feeding the lake. All this is done just to keep the ground from becoming overly saturated. It's kind of like filling a potted plant with water, and you got water coming out the bottom. Well, that's what this drain tile is going to do. It's a thin plastic pipe. It's got corrugations on there for a little bit of strength, and it also has perforations on it, perforated pipe, and then that water just kind of takes a path of least resistance. It'll go into that pipe and then go on down, and it eventually ends up at the lake. Well, that's kind of in a nutshell what it is. So we get to the end here, we'll stop. I'll get to the end of the line. Actually, basically, it'll show up on here. It shows me in the little green triangle there. We'll get to the end of the line, and then we cut the tile off. We'll run that into the ground, and then we will go and survey our next line. All the while, too, I should mention, excavator. He's quite a ways over there, but see that little dot? He's digging out the next, he's like 3 or 4 lines ahead of me. He's digging out the hole so I can get the tile plow backed up to the main to get hooked up. This whole field has got these lines about every 60 feet. Quite a project. Pipe off and puts a plug in there into that. He tells me when we're good, so yep, we're good to go. So we'll just pull ahead. That'll run into the plow and through the boot. Since there's a plug in there, no dirt will get in. And away we go. And I take and got to hold up, raise the hydraulics. It up out of the ground as well as do the tilt. right. So it's all the way up and tilted forward. That's in survey position. So, see here, I can back this off a little bit. I'll turn and it'll go 60 feet over. That's how I got my track spacing, because we're running the lines every 60 feet. You can see on here, I got another line coming up. Press my auto, grabs the line on it perfectly, and I look at my little triangle here on the screen, and that's telling me, hey, there's another tile line right there. Well, the line I'm on will lead me right to that tile line. That's going to be the next one we install, but first we have to survey it so it knows what the slope is going all the way down to where Nico's going. So get right up close to that line. I always hold up before we start the survey. I lower this down where it just touches a little bit. Make a mark for Nico, he knows where to stop then. So we raise it back up. Got her all set. I'm going to go back to here and hit start survey. And we'll follow our line all the way back down. And what that does is, this map is all made by LiDAR, which gets you within a few inches, but when we do the survey, it gets right down to the gnat's fanny, and that way we have all of our grades and everything spot on. So I can go quite a bit faster when I'm coming down doing the survey. Once again, the set number at full throttle would be at 6.2. And I'm hanging in at 6.3. And it's not full throttle. We have that dialed back a little bit, so burning a little less fuel. We don't need to have all that engine speed. So, yeah, that's kind of the tiling in a nutshell. Showing what the ground contour is where we're driving, so it'll do all of its calculations to have everything set up correctly when we come back. When I get to the end, I'll just hit the stop survey and repeat. So here's where we're at. You can see the trench coming all the way through here, and there's the pipe that's laying in the bottom of it. That is going to connect to one that goes under the road and heads off to the south. It's actually down there behind that shovel. So what I got to do now with the excavator is I'm going to fill the rest of this in so I can drive the excavator on from that side. I'll straddle the ditch. Then I'll dig out here and kind of get it to where I can make that connection. And the slope should be pretty dang good. It looks like she'll have a 4-inch drop. That's going to work out just fine. So, yeah, the thing was full of water, so I had my little generator here, and I got a sump pump on sale at Menards a while back, and that works really good. Boy, that thing moves water like crazy. So, yep, that's what's going on. So there's west of Lake, Martha South, the hilltop approach. You come down here to where the tile project is going to cross from where the rye is under here. I got it uncovered on the other end. There's no water going in there. But you get on this end where the guys are going to come with another chunk of tile to make our connection. There's water running here and going right on into the 12-inch pipe there that we got going into Cottonwood. And that water is flowing along there. It's kind of hard to tell the way the thing is, but there you go, you can see it. That's coming from under the road where the splices are on these pieces here. This is some dual wall, heavy stuff. Unbelievable. You got actually pretty good flow coming from under the road. Doing the pre-rip, got an auto steer line I'm following. It's a foot above where the grade is. Following that yellow line. The hydraulics are doing the automatic deal. keeping everything level and holding the depth where it's supposed to be at with where the GPS is following. And I have up by that other tractor way up there, I've got a stand that's got a GPS receiver on it. So yeah, we're cruising along and make a start hole, and then we'll come back and hit it again. We might have a second tractor pulling this one. Unrolling the 10-inch tile. Stuff is so damn stiff, it takes a couple of guys. There we go. Now it's going pretty good. Perfecto. Yeah, we were making the corner, and I don't think we had enough slack in the tile, and it snapped, so I had to pull ahead a little ways to dig it out. I still have everything engaged, and it's sitting at grade. So now we went and pulled tile back a little bit. We're going to shoot it in here, pull it through, make our connection onto that, and then continue on. But yeah, it's my fault. We probably should have made a more slack in the tile as we laid it out. See, now we're going. Rudy's up ahead, but he's not hooked up. We just got him there in case I need to have him back up quick. Tried feeding with the bobcat behind it earlier, but that wasn't going very good. We snapped the line, so now I just put the bait. I think there's still better ways of doing this, but yeah, it's learning curve. I think we're doing it. Best part is we're right on grade, right on the nuts.